Good morning. I'm Pastor Thad Callahan with Grace Fellowship of Moorhead. It's Thanksgiving week, and as I do every year, I want to take a few minutes each day this week to bring a short message on giving thanks. You say, you do this every year? Aren't you running out of things? You see, no matter how important you feel Thanksgiving is or aware of, it is probably even more important than that. In the Bible, it's clear that thanksgiving and thankfulness is supposed to be a part of the Christian's life. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, which again we use every year, it says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." How important is giving thanks? It is God's will for your life. People, what's God's will? What's God's will? God's will is that you learn to give thanks. Beloved, if it is God's will, it is of primary importance that we learn to give thanks. Over in Psalm chapter 100, verse 4, it tells us that we enter into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise. Therefore, be thankful to him and bless his name. It is the very vehicle that brings you into the presence of God is thanksgiving and praise. That tells you a little bit about how important it is. God knew how important thanksgiving was back when he created man in the garden, because he created man to where thanksgiving literally helps our physical and mental body. Consistently practicing gratitude can help mental health. Higher levels of gratitude bring lower levels of depression. Regularly practicing gratitude will help decrease anxiety and stress. Several studies have shown that thanksgiving lowers the risk of heart disease and lowers blood pressure. The more you give thanks, the stronger your heart is. Thanksgiving even helps you sleep better. An interesting thing that if it's that important, you got to imagine it's a target for the enemy to knock Thanksgiving out of your life. And over in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2, where it talks about in the end times, perilous times will come. In verse 2, it begins describing the men, the people who are going to live during these last times, the end of times. And it says, "For men shall be lover of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful." Right there in the middle, it gets on there, the liars and cheaters and all that kind of stuff. But unthankful is a symptom of the world in the last days. Beloved, is there any reason, is there any doubt why there's so much chaos in the world? When one of the symptoms is unthankful, complaining, whining, being frustrated with everything. There are a lot of people amongst the world who will say, I'm thankful. They'll even do the Thanksgiving November or Giving Thanks November, where over the course of November, every day they give thanks for something else. But then they go on and proceed to complain about everything else, and sometimes complain about the things that they say they're giving thanks for. People will complain about work, about their spouse, about their family, the kids. They'll complain about politics, weather. Their house is too small, their house is too big. They'll complain about the economy. And somebody out there going, "Well, Pastor Thad, there's so many reasons to complain about that." I'm not saying that things aren't hinky right now. What I am saying is that in all these things, give thanks. There may be things about your work you don't like. Perhaps your boss isn't as wonderful as you'd hope they would be. But beloved, we can find things that are good in our work. How about the fact that you have a job? How about the fact that they pay you? And give thanks. There may be things about your spouse that drives you nuts. Not me. Not me at all. Maybe you. But instead of focusing on what those things are that drive you a little haywire, focus on the good. Find the things that are good and give thanks to God. Give thanks for them. Tell them. Be thankful to them. You may not like who's currently in a political office or who's going to be. So, some of you out there who's going to be in the political office. But instead of complaining, be thankful that we have a country that is free. Be thankful that we have a voice and that we have a vote in that country. You may not like the weather outside. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Boo! But be thankful that you're alive. Be thankful that you get the privilege of feeling the rain on your face, the cool chill on your skin. I don't like it, but you can feel it. I'll leave the rest up to you. Learn to be that person, beloved, that when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, how you doing? Your answer can be, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. How many people do you know that say that? Why don't you learn to be that person? Here's the thing, and what we're going to be covering over this week. Thanksgiving and gratitude don't just happen. You have to purpose to be thankful. Our natural flow in life flows towards complaining. You don't have to do anything, and you'll complain about something. You're born. You complain because you're hungry. You complain because your diaper's messy. You complain because you're right? We don't have to do anything. We complain. You have to develop a grateful heart. Your flesh wants to notice what's wrong, but you have to develop a grateful heart. So the rest of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to tap into some areas that will help us develop Thanksgiving in our lives. Perhaps going from non-existent Thanksgiving or maybe small Thanksgiving. Maybe you have moments of Thanksgiving. But by the end of this week, we're going to give you some tools that can take you from those lower areas to that Thanksgiving where every day you wake up and you're grateful to be alive. You're grateful for what God has blessed you with. Beloved, I'll see you tomorrow where we'll check out the first couple ways to develop your Thanksgiving. But God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, I love you.